Hi, good afternoon. My name is Eric Trickett. Today you're going to be joining me on my FTT 104 Gunsmithing Tools Lab for my week 4 assignment. So today we are going to be going through and taking a look at my Sig Sauer P320 Compact. We are going to be disassembling this as far as I can without having to use any specialty tools, because what they end up asking for I currently do not have. I will also then leave a link for anything that I don't have. So first things first, we're going to remove the source of feed, which shows that we do not have any ammunition. I'm going to look down into the barrel, the magazine well, and back towards the striker just to visually inspect that there is no ammunition present. Now that we have made sure that this firearm is clear, let's go and begin with the magazine. So if you look at the bottom, there is a small hole so that you can disassemble this firearm magazine to inspect the spring inside the magazine, make sure that there's no corrosion, rust, anything like that. Typically whenever I take this out, I like to end up lubricating it, and then we'll also visually inspect the magazine itself. So that is the completion of that being disassembled. Next, we are going to go ahead and lock the slide to the rear. We're going to then rotate this lever so that we can remove the upper from the lower. We'll set the lower aside, and we'll begin by removing the spring and the barrel. So as far as this goes, so you would be able to end up dropping this down so that you can end up getting access to the sear. You'd be able to gain access to the striker. You would end up being able to access more onto the extractor. Overall, I do not have the specialty means to be able to take this apart and ensure that it is done in a safe manner. But I will also, I would end up having alongside me a full manual that would end up showing where all the pieces go so that nothing got lost, and I would keep track on a piece of paper documenting what part was extracted in which step. Alright, so then next, for the easiest, is to go ahead and remove this lever. So I begin by wiggling it back and forth just because it can remain tough. Worst case scenario, I would end up using something small to help with the pry, which, you know what, let's go ahead and do, because it does seem like it needs to be lubricated. And it would be something as simple as a small flathead, just to get behind and help with the prying. Alright, now that that's out, we have released the lever, and now we can pull out the FCU, which is the fire control unit. Now also, with this one, there are certain aspects that you do not want to take apart. Just at a basic level, unless you are more trained, end up having the diagram so that everything can be aligned back to perfectly. You would also need certain punches and presses to be able to pull this out without damaging any of the internals, because right here is the firearm itself, and tampering with this could end up leading to getting yourself in some legal matters if it is assembled wrong, and ultimately could go into a automatic firearm or just a altered firearm that does not meet its specifics. So now that this is completely disassembled as far as I can do without any specialty tools, we're going to go ahead and place the FCU back in. We'll go through and we'll place this pin back in. Make sure that it gets back in alignment and can shift, which I will end up lubricating this afterwards. So the lower is completely taken care of. Let's go with the upper. We'll start off with placing the barrel back in. We will then place a spring to end up applying pressure so that the barrel will not fall out. We will then allow it onto those grooves, slide back using the locking into place lever. Boom. That is fully assembled. Now it is a lot easier to reassemble the magazine than it is to take it apart, because you apply pressure and hold it down so that the lower can end up finding its grooves. And that would be the button that we are pushing down. And magazine is now done. All right, so that is the full disassemble as far as I can. It is just a little more than filled. I will leave the full instructions on how to find all the parts that you would need, the specialty tools, and the schematics so that you could disassemble.